It seems every time I hear this story, and it's a true story, I think about the first time I met Paul. It was 1947, and I'd just flown a small plane into the eastern jungles of Bolivia, South America. As I landed and taxied to a parking spot on this little jungle strip, this little fella came running barefoot, all perspiring. I picked him up in my arms, and then I put him in the pilot's seat. He was just all taken with the controls and instruments. And he said, when I grow up, I want to be a missionary pilot.
And as she was stretching, she looked out the window only to see 6 gorillas running toward her house.
Oh, no.
Vamos!
Tim, the gorillas are here. What do we do?
Americano?
Yes.
Then you are imperialists. You are enemies of my country. At this moment, you are my hostage. Get out!
Well, I don't know how you react in a situation like that, but my stomach just went, oh, brother.
Okay, what's first?
Father, I just want to thank you for just the privilege to be able to
He's playing.
commit this time.
That's right.
I said, Lord, I got the key. If you get me that airplane, I'll get it out for you. And it was as though the Lord said to me, Paul, that airplane is just a hunk of metal. I can even replace it if I want to. Okay, Lord, just offering my services, you know. And
we know that missionary is just a cover for CIA. We know that all missionaries work for CIA.
Well, that might be what you believe, but that's not true. I know a lot of missionaries, and I don't know a one of them that works for the CIA. To me, that'd be dishonest to say you're working for God and then undercover working for a government.
Well, maybe not all missionaries.
man, I felt like I was in a nightmare and I just couldn't wake up.
There's no God. Had you ever seen God?
No, I've never seen God.
See? If there was a God, you could see him.
Well, they wanted to talk about politics, and I didn't know anything about that, and I wasn't going to pretend like I did. I was there to represent my father, and they did not want to hear about him. Lord, I don't want to die for communism.
And so we wrote a letter. We explained to the guerrillas that Tim, Bunny, and Steve were God's servants. And if they harmed them, then they would be answerable to God.
Okay, Lord. Then if I die here, it'd be dying for you? That's right, Paul. And then that was settled. And then I began to see the seriousness of this whole thing, and my mind began to think, you know, I'll never eat any more ice cream. And I like ice cream.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice to have an ice-cold pop right now?
Even if they just had a pop without the ice, that would be so nice. Well, of course, being as they were way out in the middle of the jungle, the likelihood of that happening was next to impossible. But Bunny had hardly gotten the words out of her mouth when a gorilla showed up with 3 bottles of grape soda. You know, the closest place that pop could have come from was 2 weeks away by river. God had already been 2 weeks in the process of answering that desire just for that moment. Even a warm pop in the jungle shows God's faithfulness.
And you know, God's word does work. God is God.